Well, hello everyone. We're back on again this week for the energy of the week. I think it's July 18th, a couple days after the eclipse. So 19th is today, I think. A couple of days after the eclipse, and a lot has been going on. I don't know about you guys, but we've been feeling it. Me and Susan have really been feeling it. There's a lot of things that we haven't discussed, but we will after we're done with our video. But I want to say, for my part, and I will put Susan on as well, but I feel like there's so much is happening, but at the same time, there is a lot of, I don't know how to say that, a lot of ancient, deep stuff is coming out. You're laughing.
It's uncanny how we are always going to talk about the same thing.
Well, that's why I felt like I needed to start today for some reason. And it's interesting because for me, and I would say that is just being in this land, in Greece, all these ancient things has been working up, but not things of 2,500 years ago, but things that are like at least 50,000 years ago. It's like we're going so deep into really what a human race is and what we existed and how long we've been existing. It's uncanny. And now it's not just intuitively, but I feel that science is also just going to come up to it. I don't know what you think about that, Susan. But anyway, tell me, what is your feeling?
No, it was interesting because it was like, I was going to say, Zeppi, I'm going to segue a little bit today because I want to talk about something else. I have recently moved into a new home, and this home feels so multidimensional, like no other home I've lived in Sedona. And no matter where you live in Sedona, there's some kind of energy that you are aligned with, be it the red rocks, be it the earth. So I can't quite put my finger on, is it me? Is it the house? Is it the land? Because this land is amazing. But I've had these discussions with people that come over to the house, and it just feels multidimensional. Like there are lots of ancient portals and doors to go through to get information. It doesn't feel malevolent. It just feels a little odd getting used to being able to access all these doorways that will take you. It's like it's like a Star Trek or it's a Stargate episode. But that's what it feels like for me as well. So interesting that you were right there in Greece thinking the exact same thing.
Well, that's how it's been feeling for me. And I'm getting, connected with people. Like I just did, I don't know if you saw on Facebook, I just did the whole ancient Greek ceremony, and it was about Saturn. It was the day before, 2 days before the eclipse on Saturday or Sunday, I'm sorry. And it has to do about the goddess Kronos, which is Saturn, correct? And
Right.
he is very ancient. He's not, he's not at the time of the 12 gods of Zeus. He's actually beyond that. And interesting, the story that I always knew about about Kronos that we knew is that he ate his children. And you know why he ate his children? The more research I do, the more I find out. You know why he ate his children? For this world of the material world to stop existing, because he knew how it would take us to this horrible space that we are in right now, the struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting to know that.
Well, I'm studying the Norse mythologies, and they have a similar tale. And there are probably similar tales throughout many cultures, where as far back as usually most people go is to the more recent gods and goddesses. But there's an energy beyond that. That's the ancients that I keep talking about. Let's see, what is the belief system around the creation of the world? And how many people want to delve into that and like, what is the creation of the world that we live in? Because it's vast and it's deep.
I agree. And I was getting chills as you talked about it, because, it doesn't matter if you study the ancient Greeks or with the Greeks, everybody stops at 2,500 years ago. But here in Greece, there is a group that I'm connected to. We're going beyond this. We're going to figure out exactly what existed. And you're connected to the Nordics. And it's kind of interesting that, this is coming up now. I'm in Greece, you're in Sedona, and we both are feeling exactly what's going on. And there is a lot of people that still stay on the surface, but
Right.
and it's okay. There's no that's not a problem with that, but there's a lot of us that need to really go deep and understand what we're feeling, because the ancients are waking up. They're really waking up in a big way. And
Yeah.
I just don't know, I don't know what to say about that, because it's just too much.
It is beyond certainly beyond what we typically have conversations around.
Yes.
And some of it is it's like that was a lot of information, and so we have to sit and let it process. But absolutely, I do believe there's this big awakening going on, and we may be at the forefront of that. Is like the earth is starting to share the memories, and maybe it's because of climate change. Like I read this beautiful thing about, as the ice starts to melt, does that release the runic vibrations and their sound? And so those sound vibrations are now out in the earth field, in the grid. And so is that why I can easily tap into them now? What's going on as the climate changes? Is this information more readily available?
Well, I agree with you, because the ancients lived before the climate
Mm.
changed 11,000 years ago. Before we had the ice age, and before we had all that, they lived beyond that. So maybe this is what's happening. And I didn't think about it. Maybe as the ice is changing, this vibration is coming up to really, really, for us, they were really getting those messages to wake up about. And you never know what's going to happen. I really,
Uh,
it's very recent. It's like since the eclipse, I've been feeling it really strongly. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling this since the eclipse.
well, I've been feeling it a little longer, but boy, that eclipse, I don't know anybody that didn't get triggered by it in their own particular version. So if you were triggered, any of you who are watching by the eclipse, just know everybody was, and hopefully you all got through it well and with your integrity intact, and you didn't explode or react, because it was one of the most challenging ones we've had in quite some time.
I agree. And it was, we got triggered in places that we needed to be okay with, and we needed to be, breathe through it and not triggered, as you said, because it was a very important thing. I have a feeling this eclipse is going to last a little bit till December, according to the Vedic astrology. Is going to last till December, the
Woo!
energy of it, which is around Christmas.
And interesting.
So I just want to tell everyone that, because they're saying whatever was waking up and it was shaking up since in the past two eclipses that we had this month, it's going to show up, the true of what it is about by December. And it's kind of interesting. I want to watch out for that, because and I think we should just have a little bit of what did I want to call it, sense, and stay grounded, a sense of who we are, and stay grounded for this next few months to see what is going to waken up with everything.
It was interesting. You said something about what the truth of it is. And that's what we are exploring right now, is what is the truth of things? What is the truth? And
I
how
agree.
vast and big is that truth that you and I are willing to look at, and I'm sure other people are willing to look at as well.
Yeah, and that's why we're coming to you, because we would like to share our feelings, because I think me and Susan really being in two parts of the world and feeling similar situations, and I'm sure you feeling it all out there. It feels like we're kind of all waking up at the same time in different ways, because all of
Right,
us, we need to wake up in different ways and in a different
right,
way, because it's vibrating different in different parts of the world maybe, or we're vibrating different, you
Right.
know?
Well, it's all different degrees, you
Yeah,
know, what has your path been? But, and so that's why some people may be really triggered or maybe a little anxious because of where they are right now. But just know it's part of the process of awakening.
I agree.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you for really looking at our videos and subscribing, and we love to have you continue doing that, and we're going to come back to you again. I think I'm going to be in an island that is very, very beautiful, that it has a very similar story as Mary Magdalene in south of France. I'm going to be exploring that starting on Saturday, and I know Susan will be somewhere out of you're going to be traveling as well.
Yeah. And I'm going to be traveling, so I'd be curious to see when we switch our location, are we still picking up the same vibratory energies?
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. So we'll come up to you next week for sure from wherever we are traveling. And we just want to thank you so much. And if you do have any questions, please, you know, write underneath and make notes, make comments, I mean, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching us.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care, everyone.